First relay. Form a little bit of a difficult indicator. Not many 4x4 relays for the under-20 runners. Great Britain leads the way. They're 3:35.85 in Mannheim when they just beat the Germans quartet. Season's best, not a great indicator of form. Just need to look at the quality of the teams on paper. So on the outside, it's Norway, Lopez Patti, Fagerland, Moray, Ube and Holstadt. Here's the good German quartet of Schröder, Richter, Sommer and Wiemann. It's nice to see their names on the front of the bibs as well. Slovenia, Mosela, Bedamuric, Podgoric and Viova. Greece. I think some of these teams have been practicing their introduction, but that's Giannadoulou, Semkala, Rempolu and Flotako. Now, a good Polish quartet. They never bring bad teams to these relays. Przybyłska, Gadaszka, Paszeka and Tomczyk. And a very good French quartet as well. Abasai, Lopez, Montu and Tanon. Ireland, Zakarenko, Walker, Robin and Friel. And completing the lineup on the inside, Neves, Martina, Andrade and Oliveira. Well, 3 to go through as of right from these two heats. Second heat coming up shortly, and 2 fastest non-automatic qualifiers to tomorrow's final. We have to say on paper and with history, Poland and Germany and France would be the 3 I would say will go through. Wait and see how things unfold over the next 4 laps of the track. Of course, the stagger does not unwind until you're 150 metres into the second leg. Portugal, Ireland, France, Poland, Greece, Slovenia, Germany and Norway. The first heat of the women's 4x400 metres. Well, the first leg of 4x400 metres is always deceptive. It's quite clear that Poland's Alexandra Przybyłska has started off well. On the outside as well, Lopez Patti, who we saw having some good performances in the individual 400 metres. Doing well on the outside as well for Norway. Not the strongest of quartets for the Norwegians. They've put their best runner on the first leg, and she's trying to build up a lead. Also running well, Slovenia's Mano Marseille at the moment. Slovenian closing down, gaining ground on the German as Lopez Patti makes great headway on the outside lane. The Poles, Przybyłska, and on their inside, Abasea also doing well. So, getting to the point where the stagger unwinds and the runners head for the inside. You can see the cones on the track. Well, it's concertinaed up. Germany, well, Richter's ran a really good bend to pick up the stagger and come round. Pauline Richter getting into the lead now and really putting daylight between herself and the French and the Norwegians and the Poles. Well, the French drifting back a little bit. It's the Norwegians in second at the moment with Fagerland. But Richter doesn't look like tiring at all. Fagerland, the Norwegians. Now, this is a good run from the Norwegians over these first 2 legs. Gadaszka hands over to Paszeka in 3rd place. So at the moment, it's Germany. Well, coming through strongly, France. Poland and Norway drifting back. But there's no stopping Sommer. Louise Sommer flying down the back straight. It's a big battle for the 2nd and 3rd place at the moment. And look at that, Slovenians coming up. Well, that's a fantastic run from Podgoric. Podgoric's right up on the shoulder of Paszeka. Also coming round strongly, they showed early in The Norwegians back into it again. It's really chopping and changing in terms of the positions round in second and third and fourth place. But no doubt at all, the Germans are really doing extremely well here. Clean handover, that's all the Germans really need. And they're away. And Cecilia Weimann, well, she's got a good 20 metres advantage over the Polish anchor leg runner, Zofia Tomczyk. Tomczyk now can just relax. There's a battle behind her. The French have come through strongly as well. Naomi Tanon has the baton for the French in third at the moment. Norway also in the battle for those 3 automatic qualifying places. Ireland have come through very strongly as well. But it's Weimann up the front, guiding the Germans home as they've done since the first changeover. Tomczyk trying to close on Weimann. Not really needed at this stage. It's looking as though Germany and Poland are comfortably home. And it's a big battle behind them, though, between the French and the Norwegians. And the Norwegians get third, pushing out the French. The French will have to wait and see whether they get through as non-automatic qualifiers. A really superb and spirited run in third for the Norwegians, who were, let's just say, a little bit unheralded. They've done so well to get one of the automatic qualifying spots. But you can't take it away from Frau Schroeder, Richter, Sommer and Weimann. Terrific run from the Germans to come home in 3:36.48, just outside a European leading mark.
The key leg there was Richter for Germany. She ran amazingly on that second leg, taking over from Schroeder, and she gave Sommer and Weimann an opportunity to pull away. Holstad closed fabulously well there for the Norwegians to just deny Tanon, so the French will have to wait and see. And the other brilliant leg was Podgornik, the tiny Polish athlete who got, Pajeka of Poland on the third leg, who got them right back into contention. National records for Slovenia, Greece and Portugal. Germany, Poland and Norway safely through from Heat 1 of the women's 4x4, with France and Slovenia in the non-automatic spots. As we turn our attention to Slovakia, the Netherlands, Czechia, Hungary, Italy, Turkey, Spain and Finland in the second race. 3:36 for the Germans, 3:37 for Poland, 3:38 for Norway. Finland on the outside will be roared, won't they? Vilenius, Savanius, Storr and Oinas. Vilenius will be the anchor leg for them. Gonzalez, Galvez, Navarro and Rui on anchor leg. The Spanish look poised and ready. Turkey have got a very, very good team. Babat, Alatuldak, Tulum and Duran. Italy, what a big, talented team they have brought here to these games. Macchi, Mileto, Frattaroli and Caglio. Hungary definitely in the shake-up. Oh, I like that practiced routine. St. Georgi, Papa, Besnyodi and Kessely. Teacher, Fuskova, Checheva, Chirovska. Czechia will absolutely believe they're in the shake-up, along with the Dutch Van Gils, Van Leur, de Jong and Jeppers. 3:33 at their very, very best. And on the inside, Slovakia, Portlikova, Korovichkova, Benuskova and Konechka. So the two non-automatic spots, France 3:38.69, Slovenia with their national under-20 record 3:39.06. Top 3 guaranteed place in tomorrow's final. Slovakia in 1, Netherlands 2, Czechia 3, Hungary 4, Italy 5, Turkey 6, Spain 7, Finland, the home nation, in lane 8. A little bit of a headwind into the back straight. Massive numbers of people have come here to watch. The whole stand in front of our commentary position is packed. Really well supported event. Europe's finest age group athletes, and they're about to lay on a great show. Second heat, women's 4x4. Well, a respectful hush before the gun went. You could absolutely hear a pin drop Storr will go out very, very hard on the outside. Not too many spectators on the far side of the stadium, but the Finn, extreme left of picture, will be roared round the home straight. Duran running really well on the lead leg for Turkey. And also the Italians with Miletto trying to close the gap. Now Storr will begin to feel the impact of the crowd. The Italian, Miletto, is running really well here. 3:41 this year, but as Phil was saying in the first inning, the times are almost irrelevant, really. Gonzalez is starting to rally for Spain. Excellent last 50 metres for her. Italy in front. Hungary in second place, and they've got Besseniodi. And now the Dutch with Van Leur coming through on the inside. And already the Dutch woman is into second place. And I think she's going to put Frateroli under massive pressure. Van Leur has run magnificently here, storming round this second bend. Best leg we've seen so far. She'll hand on to De Jong. And we've got Netherlands, Hungary and Italy desperate for the baton. That's Caglio calling for the baton. The Hungarians doing quite well in third. Holland, Italy and Hungary. And in fourth place, it's the Spaniards. Remember the non-automatic times. The French were fourth in the first heat with 3:38. Slovenians were fifth in that national under-20 record. And the Dutch coming under a little bit of pressure here. De Jong has to rally. Caglio into the lead. The Italians have got great aspirations with the 4x1 with the likes of Valencin and Douala, the 15-year-old who won the 100 metres last night. So Italy from Hungary. And what a leg there from Fuskova, the Czechia athlete, bringing her nation right into contention. The Italians are clear at the moment. A little bit of a rally for De Jong. Italy. Then to the Netherlands, and nothing to separate the Hungarians and Czechia there. What a run that was from Fuskova to get the Czechia team back into contention. It's Machi trying to anchor the Italians home, but the drama is going on behind her. The Dutch look okay for second with Van Gils. It's Hungary and Czechia battling for the third spot. This is quick, but how quick? 3:38 the required time for whichever team doesn't finish in the top three. And Ticha desperately trying to come round the outside to make sure the third spot goes to Czechia, but the Hungarians are rallying. Nothing to separate them. Great performance from the Italians. Italy from Holland, Czechia in third. And I think the Hungarians may well have just done enough to deny the Slovenians, who were the second of the non-automatic qualifiers with 3:39. Great running by the Italians. Fuskova on that third leg for Czechia, getting them back into contention. So Italy, Netherlands, Czechia, and I think the Hungarians will have done enough. They have 3:38.06, quicker than the French in the first and quicker than the Slovenians. So the Slovenians go home with a national record, but they won't be in the final. What a showdown that's going to be. Germany, Poland, Norway, Italy, Czechia, Netherlands, France and Hungary. Great final in prospect. And Czechia, well, they really had to work hard for that third spot. Thoroughly deserved it as well.
Without a doubt, but it was a great run from the Italians, particularly from Machi, and earlier in the relay, Miletto. Neither of them made the final, made the semi-finals in the individual 400 metres, but have bounced back and really gritted their teeth. And they've got the likes of Valentin potentially to come in as well for the final. So they're going to be a big threat. Just as a passing comment, though, disappointing not to see Britain entering a team. They are the European leaders. Well, they were until Italy went across the line. And I would have liked to have seen Britain represented, but Italy, well, you can only beat the teams that are here, and Italy have represented themselves extremely well.
The Italians, the quickest qualifiers, the European under-20 lead, and you're quite right, Valentin will go in the 200 final.
So the penultimate track event of these championships, the women's 4x400 metres relay. Some ancient marks from the former GDR European under-20 record and the European Championships record. Those are the 4 teams that are going to be... 4 teams? Did I say 4 teams? It's been a long day. 8 teams that are on the start line. There's the Czechia quartet of Safarova, Chekova, Fushkova and Ticha. Perhaps among the outsiders, but their men are going to be medal contenders shortly. Niepers, Van Leer, Van Gils, and the 4 hurdles finalist, Abigail Narua the anchor leg. Italy's extremely solid quartet of Mileto, Frattaroli, Caglio and Macchi. Same quartet as the heats when they ran the best time of 3:35. Well, Fischer, Richter, Rupp, and the 800 metres winner, Jana Marie Becker. Bit of a surprise there, no Johanna Martin. Gadashka, Tomczyk, Przybilska, and the 400 metres bronze medalist, Anastasia Kuss for the Poles. Norway's Lopez Patti, Holstadt, Moreubi, and the 400 metres finalist, Al-Saidi. The French, they've got 2 finalists from the 400 metres in there. Victoria Kwarteng, the lead-off legs, just missed a medal in 4th. Tanon, Trinqua and Metatumba, the 400 metres hurdles gold medalist. And the Hungarians, St. Georgi, Lalic, Bessonyi and Bruckner. Well, I think something must have happened in the warm-up to Johanna Martin, the German, who was the silver medalist in the 400 metres, because we were expecting her on the anchor leg. And Jana Marie Becker hasn't hardly had time to warm down after winning the 800 metres. So, from the inside, as they're just about to settle into their blocks, Hungary, France, Norway, Poland, Germany, Italy, Netherlands and Czechia. Italy look very good in qualifying despite no individual stars. They are leading the medal table at the moment with 6 goals. Can they add a 7th here in the women's 4x400 metres relay?
Set.
Just remember, the stagger doesn't unwind until after the first bend on the second leg, when they break for the inside. Running well at the moment. Well, on the outside, Johanka Safronova of the Czechia is running extremely well on the outside. Italy's Francesca Mileto in lane 6 as well, almost up on the shoulder of the Dutch first leg runner, Lies Neppers. Mileto running extremely well, having a really good first leg. Germany's Luna Fischer. Well, the Germans did well in qualifying, but it's Mileto. He's going to hand over the baton just in front. It is Italy and Czechia, and the Germans as well in the mix at the moment. Laura Frattaroli, the second leg runner for the Italians. And you'll see the traffic cones, and then they can break from the inside. Frattaroli just letting Richter make the pace. Pauline Richter for the French, and the French are closing up on them with Tanon. So it's Germany, France and Italy at the moment. The three expected big guns. Netherlands half a stride further back. Good second leg here from Pauline Richter. Catherine Rupp urging her teammate on. She's starting to look very tired. Frattaroli, having something in the bank, came through strongly over the final 50 metres for the Italians. So there's little to choose between Germany, France and Italy, and the Dutch. Well, the Dutch, we know how good they are at senior level. They've got some young talent in the junior ranks, the under-20 ranks, as it's now called. So this is Rupp for Germany. Katarina Rupp being overtaken by Arlos Caglio. Rupp starting to just look a bit tired. Caglio, fresh legs. She's really doing well here. Oh, a bit of contact there between the French third leg runner. That was Romain Tanquart. Sixth in the individual final, and Tanquart coming through strongly. She's going to hand over in front to the French, and a great third leg by Zoe van Gils to put the Dutch into the silver medal position. But it's Mette Tumba now, and Tumba, we know, is so quick on the flats as well as over the hurdles. Tumba looking around, just checking where her rivals are. She's got 2 meters on them, 3 meters, 4 meters now. She's starting to pull away from the Dutch anchor leg runner, Abigail Noah, who she beat in the final of the 400 meters hurdle. Tumba now coming into the home straight, leading the way. Narua having to hold off the 800 meters finalist, who's definitely still got something left in her legs, charging behind them. Julia Macchi, but nobody's going to be stopping the French, and Mette Tumba takes the second gold medal for her collection here in Tampere. Mette Tumba, well, the first 3 legs for the French, Kwarteng, Tenon, Trinquan, set it up, but there was nothing to choose between the first 4 teams at the last handover. That was all down to Mette Tumba giving the French the gold. Germany, well, a fantastic performance from Becker, considering she'd only just finished the 800 meters a couple of hours ago. And Italy running very solidly for the bronze. Poland just edged out despite a fast finish from the Poles.
I tell you what, Becker was closing at the end there. Yes, of course, Tumba could afford to ease up, but Becker ran brilliantly on that second leg. Tumba's delight was clear to see. Fabulous work by her teammates. I thought Van Gils of the Netherlands ran really well on the penultimate leg to try and get the Dutch into contention, but they just ran out of steam on the last leg. But what a run by Becker to help the Germans.
Oh, terrific run from Becker, but Mette Tumba did bring France home to the gold medals with 3:33.56. A European under-20 lead.
Hey, I'm Ellis Fitzgerald, and you need to go and sign up to European Athletics U20.